Chadya Vaishnava Seva Nistara Payeche Keva. Chadya Vaishnava Seva Nistara Payeche Keva. Namashrestam Manuapi Abhisucha Sachiputram Atra Sarupam Rupam Tasya Grajam Urupurim Maturim Gostavatim Radha Kundam Girivaramaho Radhika Madhavasam Rapto Yasya Pratita Kripaya Shri Gurum Tam Natosmi. Hey Guru Gyanada Dinabando Swananda Data Karunaika Sindho Vrindavana Sina Hitavatara Prasida Radha Pranaya Prachara. Hey Dinabando Karunaika Sindho Guru Prasada Mahimanda Murde Laksha Paradhe Bahupapagadhe Tatpada Padme Sumatishta Krishne. Yadyakti Amar Guru Chaitanya Das Tatapi Janiye Ami Tanhara Prakash Guru Shashkara Pramane Guru Rupe Krishna Kripa Karana Bhaktagane Shiksha Guru Keta Jani Krishnera Swarupa Antaryami Bhakta Shrestha Edui Rupa Naivo Payat Yaptitim Kavyastavesha Brahma Yushapi Kritam Ridamuda Smaranta Yontar Vahistanudritam Ashubham Vibhunvan Acharya Chaitya Vakusha Swagatim Vyanakti. Without serving the representative of Krishna, nobody can approach Krishna. I bow down to the beautiful lotus feet of my spiritual master, by whose causeless mercy I have obtained the supreme holy name, the divine mantra, the service of the son of Sachi Mata, the association of Srila Swarup Damodar, Rupa Goswami, and his older brother Sanatana Goswami, the supreme abode of Mathura, the blissful abode of Vrindavan, the divine Radha Kund and Devotional Hill, and the desire within my heart, the loving service of Sri Radhika and Madhava in Vrindavan. O spiritual master, O giver of divine wisdom, O friend of the fallen, you are the giver of your own bliss, and you are the only ocean of mercy. Although dwelling in Vrindavan, you have descended for the welfare of fallen souls like myself, and you are preaching the divine love of Radha for Krishna. Please be kind upon me. O friend of the lowly, O Gurudev, you are the only ocean of mercy. I am a dull fool and have committed hundreds of thousands of offenses. I have fallen into a dense myriad of sins. Therefore, grace me with your mercy, so that my mind may be fixed on your lotus feet and on Sri Krishna. Although I know that my spiritual master is a servitor of Sri Chaitanya, I know him also as a plenary manifestation of the Lord. Every living entity is eternally a servant of Sri Krishna Chaitanya. Therefore, the spiritual master cannot be other than a servant of Lord Chaitanya. The spiritual master's eternal occupation is to expand the service of the Lord by training disciples in a service attitude. According to the deliberate opinion of all revealed scriptures, the spiritual master is non-different from Krishna. Lord Krishna, in the form of the spiritual master, delivers his devotees. The relationship of a disciple with his spiritual master is as good as his relationship with the Supreme Lord. Spiritual masters always represent themselves as the humblest servitors of the personality of Godhead, but the disciple must look upon the spiritual master as the manifested representation of Godhead. One should know the instructing spiritual master to be the personality of Krishna. Lord Krishna manifests himself as the Supersoul and as the greatest devotee of the Lord. The initiating spiritual master is a personal manifestation of Srila Madan Mohan Vigraha, whereas the instructing spiritual master is a personal representative of Srila Govindadev Vigraha. O my Lord, transcendental poets and experts in spiritual science could not fully express their indebtedness to you, even if they were endowed with the prolonged lifetime of Brahma, for you appear in two features, externally as the Acharya and internally as the Supersoul, to deliver the embodied living being by directing him how to come to you. The lotus feet of our spiritual master are the only way by which we can attain pure devotional service. I bow to his lotus feet with great awe and reverence. By his grace, one can cross the ocean of material suffering and obtain the mercy of Krishna. Our only wish is to have our consciousness purified by the words emanating from his lotus mouth. Attachment to his lotus feet is the perfection that fulfills all desires. He opens our darkened eyes and fills our hearts with transcendental knowledge. He is our Lord, birth after birth. From him ecstatic prema emanates. By him ignorance is destroyed. The Vedic scriptures sing of his character. Our spiritual master is the ocean of mercy, the friend of the poor, and the Lord and master of the devotees. O Master, be merciful unto us. Give us the shade of your lotus feet. Your fame is spread all over the three worlds. Take shelter at your lotus feet. Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakati Sadma Vando Mui Savarana Mate Jara Prasade Bhai E Bhavatoriya Jai Krishna Prapti Hoy Jaha Hoy Te Krishna Prapti Hoy Jaha Hoy Te Guru Mukha Padma Vakya Chittete Koriya Aikya Arna Koriyo Mane Asha Arna Koriyo Mane Asha Shri Guru Charane Rati Aise Uttama Gati Je Prasare Pure Sarvasha Je Prasare Pure Sarvasha Dan dilo je janme janme Prabhu se Chaktu dan dilo je janme janme Prabhu se Divya Gyan Ride Prakashita Divya Gyan Ride Prakashita Prema Bhaktiya Hoite Avidya Vinasha Jate Prema Bhaktiya Hoite Avidya Vinasha Jate Vere Gaya Charita Vere Gaya Charita Shri Guru Karuna Sindhu Adama Janara Bandhu Shri Guru Karuna Sindhu Adama Janara Bandhu Loknath Lokera Jivana Loknath Lokera Jivana Ha Prabhu Koro Doya Deo More Parajaya Ha Prabhu Koro Doya Deo More Parajaya Jastu Tribhuvana Srila Prabhupada Patita Bhavana Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Kirtan or no? Srimad Bhagavatam.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. We welcome everybody to the Saturday morning Bhagavatam class. Today we are extremely fortunate to have His Grace Kanai Thakur Prabhu. It is said in Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhavadvida Bhagavatas Tirtha Bhuta Swayam Vibho Tirti Kurvanti Tirthani Swantastena Gadabruta. So this is told by Yudhishthir Maharaj for Vidura when he came from the pilgrimage. A lot of people go to the pilgrimage sites to purify themselves. But devotees like Prabhu, they have holy places at his lotus feet. So wherever he places his lotus feet, that itself will become a place of pilgrimage. So let us immerse in the Krishna Katha with Prabhu's grace today. And Prabhuji is the temple president of Pune, and he has established temples, and he has taken up very, very big projects to have and build brahmachari as well as devotee congregation in the numbers of hundreds and thousands worldwide. And Prabhuji is extremely good in Shastrik knowledge. He teaches Bhakti Shastri, Bhakti Vaibhav, and a lot of courses.
He also practices. Sometimes he's also a practitioner. Say that also. That would be a good appreciation. And then all this.
Yeah, we are really fortunate. So, let's take association of Prabhuji. And he is extremely good in Q&A. If you have any questions, please think over it, write it down, and at the end, please do ask. Prabhuji is spot on with respect to answering, accurately and, quickly, resolving all your issues. Thank you so much. Prabhuji, and please keep ISV as your orbit whenever you travel. Thank you so much.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Gopi Janavallabha Girivardhari Gopi Janavallabha Girivardhari Yashoda Nandana Braja Janaranjana Yashoda Nandana Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Janavallabha Girivardhari Yashoda Nandana Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की श्रीमद् भागवत महापुराण की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। Welcome all of you to this morning Srimad Bhagavatam class. We are discussing today from the second canto of Bhagavatam, third chapter, 25th text, 2-3-25. So that's the last verse for this chapter, 2-3-25. अथापि देह अंगमनो अनुकूलम प्रभाषसे भागवत प्रधानः यद् आहवैया सकिरात्मविद्या विशारदो नृपतिं साधु पृष्ठः अथापि देह अंगमनो अनुकूलम प्रभाषसे भागवत प्रधानः यद् आहवैया सकिरात्मविद्या विशारदो नृपतिं साधु पृष्ठः अथापि देह अंगमनो अनुकूलम प्रभाषसे भागवत प्रधानः यदा वैया सकिरात्मविद्या विशारदो नृपतिं साधु पृष्ठः
अथाभिधेयाङ्गमनोनुकूलम् प्रभाससे भागवत प्रधानः यदाह वैयासिकिरात्मविद्या विशारदो नृपतिं साधु पृष्ठः
प्रभाषसे भागवत प्रधान यदाह वैयासकिरात्मविद्या विशारदो नृपतिं साधु पृष्ठा
Vaishnavis.
प्रभाषसे भागवत प्रदानः यदा वैयासकिरात्मविद्या विशारदो नृपतिं साधु पृष्ठः
Atha, therefore, Abhidhehi, please explain. Anga, O Sutta Goswami, Manaha, mind, Anukulam, favorable to our mentality. Prabhashase, you do speak. Bhagavata, the great devotee. Pradhanaha, the chief. Yat aha, what he spoke. Vaiyasakihi, Shukadev Goswami. Atmavidya, transcendental knowledge. Visharadaha, expert. Rimatim, unto the king. Sadhu, very good. Prishtaha, being asked. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Abhay Charana Arvinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. O Sutta Goswami, your words are pleasing to our minds. Please therefore explain this to us as it was spoken by the great devotee Shukadev Goswami, who is very expert in transcendental knowledge and who spoke to Maharaj Parikshit upon being asked. Purport. Knowledge explained by the previous Acharya like Shukadev Goswami and followed by the next like Sutta Goswami is always powerful transcendental knowledge, and it is therefore penetrating and useful to all submissive students. Thus in the Bhaktivedanta purports of the second canto, third chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled Pure Devotional Service, the Change in Heart. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kadamaiham Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guroho Shri Uta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajataham Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padahan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha Namaom Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gaurat Vishe Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। मूकं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपा तमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरु दीनतारिणम्। Hare Krishna. So I'd like to welcome all of you once again for the Srimad Bhagavatam class at ISKCON of Silicon Valley. Thank you for joining in early morning. So today we'll discuss something on the topic of perfect inquiry. So Parikshit Maharaj has inquired, Sadhu Prishtaha. If you see the words there, his questions are glorified. Sadhu Prishta. Very good questions he has asked. And in Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Tadviddi pranipatena pariprashnena. He uses the word paraprashna, relevant inquiries, transcendental inquiries, pertinent inquiries. So today we'll discuss something on perfect inquiry. What's a perfect inquiry? The disciple is supposed to inquire from spiritual master, like Arjuna inquired from Krishna. Arjuna said, please, I accept you as my guru. And Arjuna kept on asking questions and Krishna kept on replying. Right? That's the whole Bhagavad Gita. And that's how Srimad Bhagavatam. Parikshit Maharaj has asked questions. Shukdev Goswami is responding to those questions. But Sadhu Prishta, relevant inquiries. Right? What is perfect inquiry? So we have an acronym there, PERFECT. We'll take each letter and we'll try to understand what's a perfect inquiry. Before that, Jiva Goswami, one of the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan and very famous for his literary contribution, Srila Prabhupada would glorify him as the best philosopher that has ever been, Prabhupada would say. And he has written 1,00,000 verses as his sandarbha that he has written as his explanation. So he's written 6 books, Shata Sandarbha they are called. And these 6 books are elaboration only on one line of Srimad Bhagavatam. Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. These 4 words from one verse. He has taken these 4 words and the entire 6 books are simply explanation on this Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. So Jiva Goswami, in his glorification of many places, he has glorified Srimad Bhagavatam. So he says Bhagavatam is special because of 3 reasons. He says the first reason why Bhagavatam is special, he says, is because of the one who has written it, Srila Vyasadeva. Srila Vyasadeva is the literary incarnation of Krishna, and he has written this Bhagavatam in his maturity. So you find, after having written all the scriptures, he has done all the literary work. After finishing that, Vyasadeva realized that I'm feeling a vacuum in my own heart. I'm not feeling satisfied. So Vyasadeva understood, how would anyone else who would read these scriptures will find that satisfaction? So he underwent meditation, and upon instruction of Narada, right, he understood that, I have committed a mistake. I have written many scriptures, and all these scriptures are simply concessions for the conditioned souls. But I have not explained, or I have not sufficiently glorified Krishna, one reason. And then second, he says, I have not sufficiently glorified bhakti that connects the soul and Krishna. Right? For that reason, he picked up the Srimad Bhagavatam out of all his books that he has already written, all the scriptures, from the Vedas, the Vedanta Sutras, the Upanishads, the 18 Puranas, right? The Mahabharata was also done. And after that, he picked up Srimad Bhagavatam and he edited it, where pure glorification of Krishna and the pure glorification of pure bhakti, Shuddha bhakti, that is there. So Jiva Goswami says, because Vyasadeva has given this Bhagavatam to us in his maturity, that's the first reason why Bhagavatam is very important and special. Second reason, he says, why Bhagavatam is important and special. He says, because of the speaker of Srimad Bhagavatam. Who has spoken? Shukdev Goswami. निगम कल्पतरोर गलितम फलम शुकमुखाद अमृत द्रव्य संयुतम पिबत भागवतम रसमालयम मुहुरहो रसिका भुवि भावुकः. So, if all the Vedas are considered like desire tree, right? The fruit of this desire tree of the Vedas is Srimad Bhagavatam, right? So, if we see a mango tree, right? If the mango that gets ripened on the tree is very sweet, and all the more if that fruit, that mango, is touched by the beak of a parrot touches it by its beak, that mango becomes all the more sweeter. So, of the tree of the Vedas, the desire tree of the Vedas, the fruit is Srimad Bhagavatam. And this Srimad Bhagavatam given by Vyasadeva became all the more sweet because of the realizations of Shukadeva Goswami, because of the purity of Shukadeva Goswami, who is the speaker of Srimad Bhagavatam. That's the second reason why Bhagavatam is special. And Jiva Goswami says the third reason why Bhagavatam is special is because of Parikshit Maharaj, who is the audience, who has asked such perfect enquiries. Because of the enquiries of of Parikshit Maharaj, because Parikshit Maharaj began with, his inquiry was, what is the general duty for every human being? And the second question was, what is especially the duty of a man about to die? What is that person supposed to do at the point of death? So what should everyone do, every human being while living? What is the duty? And especially the duty of a dying man, right? These two questions, that's where Srimad Bhagavatam begins. When these questions were asked by Parikshit Maharaj, this inquiry was made, and then further questions are asked. And Parikshit Maharaj is glorified so many places. We'll see it in today's discussion. Parikshit Maharaj is glorified for his, nice questions, inquiries. Sadhu Prishtah, just as it is coming here. So psychology says, there are why questions, what questions, and how questions. Why, what, and how. Which one should we start with? What, the how, or the why? Any answers? Which questions are important? The what questions, the how, or why? Why? Why should we begin with why? What is the importance? See, what defines the activity that you're going to do? How determines the strategy that you'll use? But the why question clarifies the very purpose. The purpose for those activities, the purpose for that strategy that you are embarking on. So why question is very important. So once you start, once you know what is your purpose, then the further strategy and the further activities can be, decided. So that's why Vedanta Sutra, it begins with Athato Brahma Jigyasa. Now that you have got this human form of life, therefore you should inquire about absolute truth. Why am I here? What is life? What is death? Right? What is the goal of life? Right? Why don't I find happiness? Everyone is making an attempt to be happy in this world. Why? Why is happiness, so eluding? So, and you'll find when we were kids, like this girl, right? When we were kids like this, we were full of only why questions. We would ask everyone, why? But as we grow up, we get so busy with the what and how, we forget to ask the why questions anymore. But this why question is so important to ask. So Bhagavatam begins with this why. And then Bhagavatam also answers the what and the how, the details of it. So questions are very, very important. Actually, questions determine the level of the audience. The questions, the kind of questions that are asked, it determines the course of our life. Right? Whatever we are today is because of the questions that we may have asked somewhere to somebody, and that changed the course of our life. The why question. So, what are the most often, the questions that are asked, Google to Google? you'll find the most often questions that are asked are, whom to marry. This is one of the questions, right? Whom to marry, profitable business, right? What should I, career? These questions everybody is asking, right? But what are the, so questions people are asking, and Srila Prabhupada, there's one purport of Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada says how everyone is asking questions. The birds are asking questions, the animals are asking questions, the humans are asking questions, the lawyers, the politicians, the wife, the husband, the children. Every morning we begin with asking questions. The animals begin with, where is my food? Where is my food? Humans, we may ask, we may ask Google, which road to take today for office, right? Where will I get less traffic? Questions are being asked, but this the nature of these questions, this inquiry has to be improved. So, what is the first about inquiry, about asking questions? The first thing is asking the right question. That's the first part of it. That you are able to ask the right question. The second part to it is, you can ask you have a right question, but you have to ask the question to the right person. So the right question at the right time to the right person and with a proper attitude. Right? Question has to be asked. We can inquire, but the right question at the right time to the right person in the right spirit. You find most people, they may fulfill the criteria, they may fulfill the criteria of the first, either 1, 2 or 3, but all 4, very rare. Especially this aspect of asking question in the right spirit, the right attitude, right? So, Parikshit Maharaj is glorified and Srimad Bhagavatam is appreciated because Parikshit Maharaj has asked the right question at the right time to the right person and in the right attitude. That's why Srimad Bhagavatam is very special. And like I was saying, all the scriptures, Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, even Chaitanya Charitamrita, you'll find Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asking questions to Ramananda Rai. And what a beautiful discussion on dharma and how it goes to the, what is topmost dharma. So inquiries have to be there. Like I was mentioning in the program the other day, when my parents, especially my mother would take me to one Rama Katha, Ramayana Katha, Ramayana discourse would happen and my mother would take me to that Katha. And one time I asked my mother, I was just like in grade 7 that time. And I asked my mother, I have a question to ask to your Guru. Can I? She said, shh. No questions to Guru. You only hear from Guru, listen to Guru, and that's all. Right? But by the time we were going home, and my mother asked me, so what was your question? You can ask me now. Right? So I said, my question to your Guru was, every day he's doing 2 to 3 hours of Ram Katha. He's speaking on Ramayana. At the end of his discourse, rather than doing Aarti for Ram, they do Aarti for, Mother India. India's map is there and they worship, India. Tan man dhan se sada sukhi ho, Bharat desha hamara. That was the Aarti. So I said, I had this question for your Guru. Why don't they worship Ram? Why do they worship, the map of India, country, Bharat Desh? And my mother gave me a slap. Good, I did not allow you to ask any questions there, she said. One time my father was performing Aarti, right? And my father gave me the Aarti to give it to the other family members. And I said to my father, I have a question, can I ask? He said, yes, please ask. So I asked him, you're moving the Aarti, the flame, in clockwise direction. Why don't you move it in anti-clockwise direction sometime? And my father kept the Aarti down and gave me a slap. What kind of questions you get, man? But what this inquiry should be there. So right inquiry at the right time to the right person with the right spirit is so important. So Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita and all the scriptures are full of inquiry. Genuine inquiry is being made. And then the answers are so beautiful. So what's a perfect inquiry? We'll go into that. So Krishna has created two kinds of beings in this world, right? One is called Chetana and other is Achetana. Conscious, right? Either animate and inanimate beings, right? So with the animate beings, which we all are, and even animals and plants and everyone can be included there, out of his karuna, out of his causeless mercy, with the animate beings, what do we see? We find there are two things offered to them. There is free will, and with that free will comes independence. A minute independence that is offered. Now, either we can use this independence favorably, or we can abuse this independence, right? If we use this independence, Prabhupada says, if you use this free will, you use this independence that is offered by Krishna properly, then you will go to the spiritual world, or you can be in the spiritual world when you use it properly. But when you abuse that independence, that free will, that brings us to the material world. Right? And when we are in the material world, right, this Chetana Vastu that we are the conscious beings. We are conscious beings, plus we have this minute independence. Now the whole plan, the way the world is designed, the material world is designed, we use this independence, right, in a wrong way. Then we were meant to get frustrated, and from that frustration, inquiry will begin. Why like this? Why is this world designed like this? Right? Like in Bollywood songs, Duniya banane wale, kya tere man mein samai? Why did you make this world, God? Why? Why is this world like this? But the design is such that this inquiry should come. So that's why the Shastra says human form of life is for the Atma, for the soul. This human form is offered to begin this inquiry. Right? Like, so this why question. And Srimad Bhagavatam, you'll find the second canto, the last chapter, the 10th chapter, Bhagavatam is the answer to all questions. That's the title Prabhupada is given, right? So another title can be given to Bhagavatam is perfect questions, perfect answers, right? So the entire philosophy is given in a very nice Q&A form. Questions being asked and the answers being given. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he is speaking to Sanatana Goswami. Can we display this? Madhya Leela, 24th chapter, 319th verse. Is it coming on the board? Is it working? Okay. 24, Madhya Leela, 24th chapter, and that's 319. See. Prashnottare Bhagavate Kariya che nirdhar jahara shravane loke lage chamatkar. Mahaprabhu saying Prashna Uttara, questions and answers. Bhagavate, in Srimad Bhagavatam, what is there? Prashnottare Bhagavate Kariya che nirdhar. Can we show the translation to the verse? Where are you? Wow. The form of Srimad Bhagavatam is given in question and answers. Thus, the conclusion is established by hearing these questions and answers. One is highly astonished. Right? So now, inquiry is to be made. Right? We have to make proper inquiries. But different inquiries are based on different levels of consciousness. So we see 5 levels of consciousness is there. The first level is Avrita Chetana. It is called covered consciousness. The mountains, the trees, they are the examples for covered consciousness. Their inquiry goes to what point? Let's say example of trees. Their inquiry goes till sunlight, the water. They're inquiring, how do I be in the sunlight? How do I get more water for my nourishment? So, Avrita Chetana, covered consciousness. The next level is Sankuchita Chetana. Avrita Chetana. Then is Sankuchita, contracted or shrunken consciousness, Srila Prabhupada says. The animals come into this category. Sankuchita Chetana. And what are they busy with? Eating, sleeping, mating and defending. And the inquiry at that level of consciousness is within these areas: eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. The third is called Mukulita Chetana, right? Budding consciousness. Right? At this level, the inquiry is only at the level of the body. I am this body, and or a person is busy with one's past or the historical past, right? Discussing about the wars, right? Or discussions about feeding oneself, taking care of the body. So the lawyers, the shareholders, everyone is asking questions. Vikasita Chetana is the fourth one. Vikasita Chetana is blossoming consciousness, right? Here, Brahma Sutras are saying Athato Brahma Jigyasa. Right? One has raised one's consciousness from the previous three levels and has come to the point of no more even dharma, artha, kama. One is inquiring about Brahman now. Spiritual inquiries begin at the level of Vikasita Chetana. And the last and the fifth is Purna Vikasita Chetana, fully blossomed consciousness. Right? There, Bhagavata says, Athato Brahma Jigyasa, no, not Athato Brahma Jigyasa, Athato Bhaktim Vyakhyasyaamaha. Right? This inquiry, one has reached to the point of perfect self-realization. I understand I am soul, God is there, and now bhakti that connects. Inquiry is at this level. So Purna Vikasita Chetasna, Narada Bhakti Sutra says, devotees ask questions about devotional service at this level of consciousness. So we are supposed to come to this point of Purna Vikasita Chetana. I'll go fast now, I have less time with me. Okay, let's go to the perfect acronym now. PERFECT. P stands for the inquiry has to be purposeful, right? Or spiritual purpose for that inquiry. So Srila Prabhupada says the market questions. What are the questions being asked in the market? Prabhupada says simply ordinary purpose. I've invested this much, how much return will I get? Right? But Prabhupada says Bhagavatam questions, the questions in the Srimad Bhagavatam have a spiritual purpose behind them. Prabhupada says this Srimad Bhagavatam can bring revolution in the impious lives of the misdirected civilization, Prabhupada says. That is Srimad Bhagavatam. So third canto, first chapter, fourth verse. Can we display? 3:1-4. This Parikshit Maharaj saying to Shukadev Goswami. He's talking about Vidura's questions. You see, Nahi alpartha alpa artho adayastasya Vidurasya amalahatmanaha tasmin variyasi prashnaha sadhu vado upabrahmitaha. Can you show this translation? The prashna, the questions. Saint Vidura was a great and pure devotee of the Lord, and therefore his questions to his grace Rishi Maitreya must have been very purposeful. So P stands for purposeful, spiritual inquiries. So Parikshit Maharaj is saying here, he must have asked very purposeful questions on the highest level and approved by learned circles. So you'll find Arjuna's question, Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita says, Imam vivasvate yogan proktavan aham avyayan vivasvan manave praha manur ikshvake abravit. Krishna is saying, I spoke this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita to sun god, Vivasvan. And Arjuna stops Krishna there itself. Wait, how come you are saying that you spoke to Vivasvan? We are contemporaries, right? Plus, you are very cultured person, Krishna. How come the younger ones, they do not teach their elders? And Vivasvan is senior to us. Why are you saying so? Very purposeful. Vishwanath Thakur says, Krishna did not want to speak about himself at this stage. But Arjuna's question was such that Krishna had to say, Janma karma cha me divyam, Evam yo vetti tattva, right in the 4th chapter. Krishna could have spoken in the bhakti section after the 6th chapter, 7 to 12th. But Arjuna's question was such, inquiry was such, Krishna was forced to speak about his own glories, his janma and his karma. Right? Prabhupada was in Brazil. Prabhupada was in Brazil. And somebody is asking question to Prabhupada, Swamiji, the mosquitoes are biting a lot. What do we do about it? What is this inquiry? What is the inquiry? Is this what you should be asking to me? Irrelevant questions sometimes. Going to Guru and asking such questions, right? You find the sages, one of the questions was, Dharmam ka sharanam gataha. Now that Krishna has left to his abode, where has Dharma taken shelter? You find Prabhupada, many a times in his lectures, you'll find he appreciates the inquiry, the purposeful inquiry of Sanatan Goswami. When Rupa and Sanatan Goswami met Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they asked, Ke ami? Kene amai jare tapatrai. Oh, who are we? Why are these threefold miseries, putting us into suffering? I don't know what is good for me. But back in village, in our town, everyone calls us Pandit, but I do not have answers for even these simple questions. So Prabhupada glorifies Sanatan Goswami for his purposeful inquiries. So P stands for purposeful. E in the perfect. E stands for everyone's benefit. Not just selfish inquiries. How it will benefit me. Right? Inquiry made with the idea to benefit all. Can we display 1, 2, 5? First canto, 2nd chapter, 5th verse. Very famous verse of Bhagavatam. Munayah sadhu prishtoham. Yes, let us repeat. Munayah sadhu prishtoham. Bhavadbir loka mangalam. Yat kritah Krishna samprashno. Yenatma suprasidati. So Suta Goswami is saying to the sages here, Munayaha, O sages, sadhu prishtaha. You have asked very nice inquiry you have made. Very relevant questions you have asked. Bhavatbir loka mangalam. It will be the questions are perfect and the answer is going to benefit everyone. So wherever Harikatha happens, wherever discussions about Krishna take place, 3 kinds of personalities get purified. Anybody knows the verse? Vasudeva katha prashnaha umsam trim punatihi vaktaram prichrakam shrotrim yat padas salilam yatha. Just as you, no matter how you come in contact with Ganges water, you have to get purified. Similarly, Harikatha, whenever Krishna Katha is going on, the speaker, the inquirer, and all those who are in the audience, everyone gets purified. Everyone gets benefited. So, you find Parikshit Maharaj, his inquiry in the 19th chapter of the 1st canto, right? He says, what is the duty of everyone in all circumstances, and what is the duty of one who is to die? Right? Very shortly. Right? His inquiries were for Loka Mangalam. But sometimes, like one time I asked one devotee, right, after every Bhagavatam class, you raise hand and you have some question to ask. Do you really get these questions? And he said, no, I'm asking for general benefit of everyone. That also should not be the attitude. I'm asking, others don't ask, so I'm just, for other. It actually has to come from heart, right? Where Parikshit Maharaj is not just thinking that I am in trouble, right? That's why I'm asking this question. No, everyone is in the same boat. Let me ask for everyone's benefit. And out of the 2 questions, Srila Prabhupada says, the second question is all the more important. The question relating to dying man is most important, Prabhupada says, because everyone is a dying man, Prabhupada says. Either very shortly or after 100 years, Prabhupada says. We also will meet death. So this inquiry is E is for everyone's benefit. Okay. Can we display 352? Another verse. Vidura is saying to Maitreya. 3rd canto, 5th chapter, 2nd verse. You find Vidura is asking, his inquiry is also for everyone's benefit. Sukha, Vidura uvach, Sukhaya karmani karoti loko. Natai sukham va anyat uparamam va. Vindet bhuyas tata eva dukkham. Yadatra yuktam bhagavan vadenaha. So Vidura is driven away from the palace. He has no place to live. Literally he was told, not even your clothes, only your breath. Take away only your, go from this, get away from this palace. Right? Only with your breath, not even your clothes. He himself in a pitiable condition. Right? But what is he inquiring when he meets Maitreya? Sukhaya karmani karoti loko. That everyone in this world is endeavoring to attain happiness out of karmani, fruitive activities. But what do we find? Natai sukham. Nobody is happy. Natai sukham. More than that, only misery comes out of all their work. Please tell me, how will they benefit themselves? Right? Can we see the translation? Vidura said, O great sage, everyone in this world engages in fruitive activities to attain happiness. But one finds neither satiation nor the mitigation of distress. On the contrary, one is only aggravated by such activities. Please therefore give us directions on how one should live for real happiness. His inquiry is for everyone's benefit. Prabhupada says, a Vaishnava's inquiry is for everyone's benefit because a Vaishnava is para dukkha dukhi. Others' dukkha, a Vaishnava can identify with others' suffering. Vaishnava jana tene kahiye je pira parai jane hai. Those who understand others' suffering. Their inquiry is for benefiting all. Okay, let's go to R. Perfect. R. R stands for recognized by saints and sages. That's perfect inquiry. It's not that something new has to come to my mind. Oh, previous sages have recognized it. So 10th canto, 13th chapter, 1st verse. Shukdev Goswami is speaking to Parikshit Maharaj. See what Shukdev Goswami is saying upon the inquiry of Parikshit Maharaj. Sadhu prishtam mahabhaga Vaya bhagavata uttama Yannutanayasya ishasya Shrunavan api kathamuhu. Sadhu prishtam. Actually, Shukdev Goswami says, I am honored, he says, by your inquiry. Can you imagine? The speaker is saying, I am honored because your inquiries are sadhu prishtam mahabhaga tvaya bhagavata uttama. Can we display 3rd canto, 1st chapter, 4th verse? Three, 1, 4. Again, we are coming to that. Sadhu vadopa brahmitaha. Right? So, Parikshit Maharaj inquiries were not irrelevant inquiries. They were perfectly in line in parampara. And the inquiries are glorified by the previous acharyas. All the sages were like, wow, what an inquiry. Right? And all the sages, actually, you find the Naimisharanya sages, they chose not Sutta Goswami was Shaunak Rishi, Shaunak Adi Rishi. So Shaunak Rishi was chosen and all these rishis were so pleased. Wow, we want to choose you because you know which inquiries to make for all of our benefit. And the inquiries are glorified by the previous acharyas. Okay, let's go to F, perfect, F. F stands for fulfill the desire of the soul or satisfy the soul. F, fulfill the desire of the soul. So first canto, second chapter, fifth verse. Once again. 1, 2, 5. That's Munaya sadhu prishtoham bhavatpirloka mangalam yat krita Krishna samprashno. You see the last line, the Krishna samprashno, what does it do? The inquiry is yenatma suprasidati. Perfect inquiry is that can satisfy the soul. Not just the mind, not just the intelligence. It's actually for the benefit of the soul. Right? Because the soul, Prabhupada says, the Atma cannot get benefited by material inquiries. It can never get benefited. Only questions related to Krishna can satisfy the soul. And Prabhupada says, forgetting Krishna, we have created so many objects of questions and answers, but none of them are able to give complete satisfaction. All things but Krishna give temporary satisfaction only. So if we are to have complete satisfaction, one must take to the questions and answers about Krishna, Prabhupada says. Let's go to the E, perfect. E stands for excellent subject matter for hearing. Excellent subject matter for hearing. 211. What can you display? Yeah, see this one. Shukdev was saying, Variyan eshate prashnaha Krito lokam hritam dripa Atmavid sammatah pumsa Uttavyadishu yah paraha. So actually for R, recognized by saints and sages, you can take this verse also for that. Here, Atmavid sammatah pumsam. Those who are Atmavid, they appreciate this question, these inquiries. This verse can also be taken for evidence. So for E, excellent subject matter for hearing, the last line, Shrotavya adishu yaha paraha. Right? What is, can you show the translation? Shri Shukdev Goswami said, my dear king, your question is glorious because it is very beneficial to all kinds of people. The answer to this question is the prime subject matter for hearing, and it is approved by all transcendental. So the answer to this question is the prime subject matter for hearing. Excellent subject matter. So E. Okay. Can you display 10.7.1? How it is, perfect inquiries are excellent subject matter for hearing. Parikshit Maharaj says, Yena yena avatarena bhagavan haririshvaraha karoti karna ramyani manodnyani chittah prabhu. 10.7.1. Let's. So as excellent matter for hearing, you see, manodnyani chanah prabhu. So it is pleasing to the ears, Krishna Katha. It is attractive to the mind, right? And the hearers, the glorification is Shravana Vyagra Chetasa. Another place it comes, right? Krishna Katha, when we are eager to hear, right, Krishna Katha. So, okay, lot of eagerness, then attentive ears, and Vyasdev says pibanti. You don't need to process it. Krishna Katha is so sweet. Bhagavata rasamalayam. Pibantam Bhagavat. Yeah, 2 to 37. But I'm saying pibanti, right, and muhuraho, again and again you feel like drinking it, right? It is such nectar. So the nature of hearing Krishna Katha is when you hear it again and again, right? Rather than hearing, Shukdev Goswami says, drink it. Right? You drink it. It's ready, right? It's like Charanamrita, ready. You don't need to process it. Simply take it, accept it, and drink it, right? And with Charanamrit also, we want second serving, right? The third serving. Can we get more? Can I get more Charanamrit? That's what Krishna Katha is. When the speaker and the inquiry, right, is perfect, then the whole audience, like, we want to hear more and more and more. Okay, perfect. C. The questions are asked with utmost care. C is care, right? You'll find sometimes controversial things are discussed in Bhagavatam, but utmost care that even in the name of making an inquiry, we don't offend anybody. You find Bhagavatam talks about Brahmaji getting distracted and allured by his own daughter. But the way Vidurji asked, we have heard that Brahma, went through such a situation. He does not find fault in Brahma, right? To the point, Krishna leaving the world, you find Yudhishthir Maharaj asks Arjuna, what happened? Why are you so morose? He knows. He knows what has happened. You find again Vidura asking question to Maitreya. When Vidura met Maitreya also, or Vidura comes back to Hastinapur, he chooses to not disclose, right, the news about Krishna having left the world. And Prabhupada says, the sad news, any sad news will spread by itself. Why should I become the carrier of it? Vidura, his talk, like Narada did not speak about the annihilation of Yadu dynasty to Yudhishthir Maharaj when he met. So, what should be done? The inquiries also have to be made with utmost care. To the point that, Ajamil goes through so much, crisis and controversies. But we should not even offend Ajamil. Right? One time, Radhanath Swami Maharaj was giving classes in Kolkata, series of classes. He was like more than 4 or 5 days continuously he was supposed to give classes. And the section was about, Indra committing, blunders. Right? And on the last day, when he finished the class, he begged for forgiveness from Indra. I beg that I may not have offended Indra. Right? And our Radheshyam Prabhu, the temple president of ISKCON Pune, he was sitting in the audience. And Maharaj said, just as Radheshyam is the president of ISKCON Pune, Indra is supposed to be the president of Swargaloka. And by the time, if I have to go back home, back to Garad, and I have to go through Swarga, he's the president there. I should not have offended him. So we have to be so careful, even if we discuss controversy from Bhagavatam, but there also inquiry has to be made with utmost care. Okay, let's go to the T. T is transcendental, beyond the 3 modes. Why? Because the inquiry, the subject is Krishna. It's no more matter anymore. It is not even Brahman. It is not even soul. The questions are about Krishna. So all question and answer. The perfect inquiry is that which satisfies the criteria for T is transcendental. So Prabhupada says everything in this world is within the 3 modes. Right? Rather than inquiring within the 3 modes, we should want to inquire what can take me beyond the 3 modes, what can make me transcendental to 3 modes, right? And more than that, about Krishna, who is always beyond the 3 modes. So 11th canto, need not display, 11th canto, 25th chapter, 24th verse, 11, 25, 24, it says, goodness means the knowledge about self. Passion means knowledge about this world. Ignorance means knowledge about sense gratification. And what is transcendent? Knowledge about Krishna. The inquiry is about Krishna. So goodness is knowledge about self, the soul. Passion, the inquiries is about this world. Ignorance, inquiries about sense gratification. But yes, knowledge about Krishna or inquiries about Krishna takes us to that level of transcendence. So there are many topics in Bhagavatam concerning sociology, politics, economics, cultural affairs. But everything, all that connects us to Krishna. That's why it is transcendental. Right? To the point in the first canto, the sages will say, please talk about Pandavas and the battle or anything only if it has connection with Krishna. Right? The connection with Krishna, because Krishna is the purifying agent. Right? So Bhaktivedanta Thakur would say the only problem is in this world is the lack of Krishna consciousness. That inquiry about Krishna is not being made. Ambarish Prabhu came to, he was brought to meet Srila Prabhupada. And Prabhupada's inquiry to him was, where is Henry Ford today? Your grandfather. And Prabhuji says, that question, where is my grandfather today? That inquiry brought so many questions in me. It gave rise to so many questions, and that's why I'm a devotee today. Imagine Guru can inquire like this. From somebody, he's not even a disciple, somebody, is come to meet him, and Prabhupada is asking. Like, one time in Paris, devotees brought a psychiatrist to meet Srila Prabhupada. Right? This doctor was brought to meet Srila Prabhupada. And he was sitting outside, impatient, right? Why? Because Prabhupada was already meeting somebody, it was delaying. And he was telling devotees, what is this going on? You asked me to come here, I'm made to sit, I want to talk to him. And the devotee who, they went and told Srila Prabhupada, he's in hurry and he wants to meet you. And Prabhupada said the doctor should know that not that people will come to inquire from him. Today he is the patient. He should sit today. Today the doctor is the patient. He should sit there. He should be peaceful. Right? So one devotee, sometimes they will ask such inquiries. One devotee asked Srila Prabhupada, please tell me one word, in one word you answer, Prabhupada, how to make advancement in Krishna consciousness. What inquiry is this? One word. And Prabhupada says, desire. You simply desire. Desire is what brings us to this world. And Prabhupada says, simply desiring Krishna will take us out of this world. Mahaman Prabhu, one of Prabhupada's disciples, he asked one time, why did Krishna conscious movement not come earlier? Right? Why you did not come before, Prabhupada? And Prabhupada says, because you were not born at that time. I was waiting for you. So, one time devotees asked Srila Prabhupada, what will please you, Srila Prabhupada? And they thought, book distribution, chanting, all this will come as answers. This inquiry, what will please you, Srila Prabhupada? And Prabhupada says, just try to love Krishna. Right? Develop love for Krishna. Right? If you do that, that will make me happy. That will make everyone happy, Prabhupada says. Right? So, the conclusion is, Srila Prabhupada would say, whenever I met my Guru, I only had one question to ask. How can I serve you? That's the most important. We may not get any, varieties of inquiries that are possible. But the most perfect inquiry is only one. How do I serve you? Because that's our swarupa. Our swarupa is, we are Jivera Swarup hai, Krishnera Nitya Das. How do I serve? That's why Kulashekar Alvar, he says, Mad janmanam phalam idam madhukaita bhare, mad prarthaniya mad anugraha esha eva, tvad bhritya bhritya paricharaka bhritya bhritya, bhrityasya bhritya itimam smaralokanatha. He's saying, O enemy of Madhu and Kaitaba, O Lord of the universe, the perfection of my life and the most cherished mercy you could show me would be for you to consider me the servant of 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 your servants. Tad bhritya bhritya paricharaka bhritya bhritya bhrityasya bhritya itimam smaralokanatha. So this inquiry that, how do I serve? And Srila Prabhupada says, that was the only question that I always asked my Guru. If this inquiry, we can come up to this point, right? We discuss PERFECT. But the most perfect inquiry is to inquire, how do I serve? Thank you very much. Srimad Bhagavat Mahapurana ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Nitai Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Bo. Any questions, clarifications, corrections, protests? You could offer them. You could offer. Yes.
Hey, Hare Krishna. So we talked about independence and free will.
Yeah.
How much free will and independence do we actually have as human beings, considering our mountains of past karma and uncontrolled senses and very powerful mind and crazy thoughts and decades of conditioning and upbringing from parents and family? Yeah.
If there's a room full of darkness, and the room has been dark for like hundreds of years, let's say, how much time does it take to lit the room? How much time? The darkness has been there for hundreds of years. Now you want to lit the room. What happened? You want light there. How much time does it take? Hundreds of years of efforts? Just one flick of a button. Om Ajnana Timirandhasya. My eyes are covered with darkness of ignorance. But when we surrender to Guru can open our eyes with the torchlight of knowledge. It won't take long, but we have to surrender to Guru with that mood, with the right mood. It does not take much, because we may be bogged up with, oh, I have so much bad past, I have so many anarthas. But it does not take much for Guru, a moment. Process. You can go back home, back to Godhead in a moment, Prabhupada would say. Right? One moment it takes to become Krishna conscious. Rather than becoming conscious of our past, we should become conscious of Guru and Krishna. And it takes a moment then. Right? Okay. Thank you. Yes, bro. You can say Arjuna took 45 minutes. The entire 700 verses had to be spoken. But he continued on. And Prabhupada says, at least we should come to the point, we should become the Arjuna of the 10th chapter. Where he accepts, yes, Krishna, yes, you are, I will follow you. But his inquiry continues. But at least he's awakened now. Yes. Yeah.
Hare Krishna. May I ask 2 questions?
Please.
First, you mentioned...
You have time till 9. That's a hard stop for us. Harivamsha Prabhu is here. Right. Yes, bro.
First, you mentioned that you were discussing 5 levels of consciousness, and then you mentioned this Atato Brahma Jignasa. Then you mentioned another phrase, Atato Bhakti, something along those lines.
Bhakti Vyakhyasyaamaha.
Vyakhyas.
Athato Bhaktim Vyakhyasyaamaha. Please detail me about Bhakti. No, that's some Purna Vikasita Chetana, where I'm not just soul. I understand I'm part and parcel of Krishna. And now I want to connect to Krishna. So, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu details this in Chaitanya Charitamrita, where the discussion with Sanatana Goswami, Abhideya, Prayojana. So the Abhideya, the inquiry is now about Abhideya. So you see, Adau Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha, Bhajan Kriya, Anartha Nivritti, Nishtha, Ruchi, Asakti. Till Asakti, it is simply Abhideya. Bhava and Prema are the stages when we become Asakta to what? Not to Krishna. We become Asakta to our practices. We develop ruchi for Krishna. No, we develop ruchi in the bhakti, the abhideya process. So this inquiry is sampurna vikasit chetana. Right? Yeah.
You mentioned that was from Chaitanya Charitamrita between Sanatana Goswami.
It is quoted there.
Okay. Yeah. And the second question was you mentioned in the beginning that you asked some questions to your parents, and that's out of curiosity.
And got slapped.
But you mentioned that these inquiries are important. You should have such curiosity. It's natural. How do you... One can maybe try to read and learn about Krishna in a more forced effort, but how do you cultivate a natural curiosity to actually learn more about Krishna or the acharyas, etc.?
Be in the right association. That association will inspire. When we see others who are practicing nicely and we get touched by their inquiries, and then the answers that we get from their inquiries will come in us. Another thing is when we practice and we apply what we have heard, then the inquiry has to come. Srila Prabhupada says, you will get that desire to inquire only when you applied what you have heard before properly. Right? Like Guru will say, like Srila Prabhupada is instructing us. Everyone we all are in different situations in life, different upbringing, and we try to apply we will get inquiry. How do I apply this, particular instruction in my situation? But that application has to happen. Sometimes we hear a lot, but we don't apply. As soon as we start applying, then genuine inquiries will come from there. Okay? Yeah.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu, for the acronym. And I liked how you quoted a verse from the Shastra after every one of them. I really appreciated that. My question is inquiries when they come to reading Shastra. A lot of the times I've found myself when I go through something that's theoretically hard for me to understand, I question everything. And I'm wondering, what are your suggestions as we read through Shastra? Should we stop and try to inquire and understand, or some things come later? And how does that inquiry process go when we're reading Shastra?
So something, if it has stopped you from further, like it stops you from further reading, and it's like it's stopping you, then better those doubts are clarified. Otherwise, nothing. All the reading that we will do, it will be like a futile exercise, because nothing is going in. So if we get a doubt, and then it's stopping us, it's not allowing us to go ahead further, better we find somebody and get the answers for it. What I do generally is, in case I get any question in my reading, I write it down in my book. And anytime I meet somebody, or that specific verse is being discussed anywhere, and in any other reading, I go back and write the answers also there. I got the answer for this one here. Right? So my Bhagavad Gita is like, my personal copy is the one that I'm using from year 2001. It has Lokanath Swami Maharaj's signature autograph. And that book is like, when I bought it, it was like this size. Now it has become this big. So many, yellow stick notes inside it. So much red, green, yellow, blue, whatever color I get, my color coding is there, right? So what I do is, I do stop at something that I cannot understand. I stop, but I feel that, all my further reading is going to be a futile effort. I better go to somebody and get those doubts clarified. Oh, okay. It's 9 o'clock. I can speak to you in person. Thank you very much. Srimad Bhagavad Mahapuran ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
So for the next class by Harivamsha Prabhu, for all the youth, it will be conducted in one of the rooms. So please head out to that room.